Good morning, Tri-State. Is at 7:29 right now. We have a traffic alert, some overnight snow, a little bit of ice causing for a horrible morning commute. And what you're seeing right now at the center of the screen is northbound 75. That's up at Westchester where there is a double fatal.
If there is good news in this morning commute, it is that those cars and trucks are trickling by. We've got team coverage for you this morning. Jennifer and Jacqueline are here in the studio. Dan Carroll, you see there, he is up at that fatal accident there. And we've got to look at conditions, which right now are deteriorating some, and really across the tri-state.
9 on your side starts now.
We're back, continuing coverage right now, especially if you're getting ready to head out the door. It's kind of a mess everywhere, including now in northern Kentucky.
Yeah, and so that really means it's across the tri-state. So we will get to weather in just a moment, but first let's see about whatever your commute is, Jacqueline. It's going to take you longer.
Yeah, now we're heading on over to northern Kentucky, 7175 southbound. We're now seeing that that's completely shut down right around Burlington Pike. This is the southbound side. No cars are filtering through, and Jennifer was even just pulling up the Richwood Road exit there, and that's empty as well. So 7175 northbound, southbound rather, all this traffic in the distance. We have it completely shut down, and things are kind of trickling by northbound there at Burlington Pike. So there's a couple cars that are spun out there on 7175, and we'll kind of touch on this and that drive time in just a moment. But we do want to get out to Dan Carroll right now, who is right there on 75 northbound. And Dan, you said that it looks like they're reopening the interstate on 75.
Well, yeah, I think what's going on is that the cars and the trucks that were stuck behind this accident for 2 hours now are being allowed to finally move on. They've got to move it over to the right-hand shoulder, so all that traffic that was stuck behind the accident scene is starting to drain off. I would imagine they still have 75 south of here shut down as you try to go northbound past 275. Now we pull the camera back, and you can see that backup heading southbound on 75 towards 275. This is moving slightly better now than it has been in the past 15 or 20 minutes, so they're probably making progress on getting that accident open that was further south on 75. We talked earlier about this SUV that is right here in the median. I thought initially, and when we couldn't see it that well because we didn't have much light on the subject, that car may have been trying to cut through the median and head back northbound. Well, it turns out that car has very heavy damage to the front end of it, and so that car may have very well been involved in this accident. I don't know that for sure, but based on the position and the heavy damage to it, it seems like that is extremely likely that is one of the cars involved in this accident out here on 75 this morning. So 75 remains a mess right now. Southbound is a little bit better than northbound, but if you can find a way to stay off of 75 to get to where you have to go this morning, at least north of 275, then I would stay off of it altogether. I'm Dan Carroll in the 9 First Morning Live Drive.
Thanks so much, Dan. All right, well, let's get back to that 9 First Morning Doppler, and I do want to show you an area that I'm focusing on first, which is down along I-7175 coming out of northern Kentucky at the Richwood exit, where we're still getting this heavy area of snow, and it goes there. Look at that big burst of snow that just passed. So let's look at it and see what it's like. So we've got a camera right there at Richwood Road. I mean, just about 30 seconds ago, you couldn't even see the traffic going northbound here into the city. Here you see on the southbound lanes where there's not as much active traffic, which means less friction. The snow is going to last a little bit longer. Totally at least snow covered there on the interstate. But the northbound lanes, because you have more traffic, you can see, look at that, just the active tracks being developed as the snow continues to come down. Much slower traffic as you go northbound today on 7175. Then you've got this big area of snow, so we've kind of shifted a little bit here to the northeast. You've got Campbell County and Kenton County here on the map through Alexandria, down through Aspen Grove, Hawthorne, Camp Springs, Melbourne, over to New Richmond. This heavy band of snow will also put down that light accumulation, not just on the bridges and overpasses anymore. This is going to cover any of these just kind of Kentucky highways there as you try to make your way to your destination. Now, just north of that, we had a little bit of light snow come into the city. Here's I-71 or I-471. See the bridge there in the distance, but you can see where on roads that were a little bit lower, at least connected to the ground, we had a lot of melting, but then you have a little bit of snow there on the edges. So again, this wave of snow continues to move east. Right now it's over Stone Lick, but as this goes into Claremont County, you're going to see a lot of these highways turning slick. We're talking about 125. That's a big highway with lots of stoplights and a lot of traffic this time of day. So heads up, you guys are next.
Jennifer, thank you. 7:34. A couple of school delays to pass along, as well as we'll continue to keep our traffic cameras up. I want to give them these pass along to you right now. Hillsborough City Schools, National Trail local schools, Preble Shawnee schools, Wayne local schools, all on a 2-hour delay right now.
And so also we want to, this is the Carroll Cropper Bridge, which you can see, wherever we look in these traffic cameras, wherever it is a mess. So if, for example, Jennifer's been talking about Northern Kentucky hitting it, specifically, or getting it, specifically Mineola Pike, which obviously is right near the airport. There are some delays at the airport. Most of them, though, are delays because of the nor'easter, not necessarily the delays because of what's happening here in town.
Well, if you're heading to traffic.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're trying to get to it.
County. This is Ronald Reagan, 75. Oof. Slow go there. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll stay on top of this morning commute. If you're getting ready to head out the door, information you need to know. You're watching Not on Your Side.
Your fabulous new figure is just a phone call away at the Plastic Surgery Group. All-inclusive breast augmentation is just $4,900. That's right, $4,900 with saline or silicone implants. Call now and schedule your complimentary consultation. The Plastic Surgery Group.
It's springtime and we're buying coats.
Burlington has everything.
I came here for a skirt.
Sandals.
Great shirts. For the home.
Beautiful handbags.
Getting organized.
All the great brands at a fraction of the cost.
Burlington. Without Coat Factory. I get it.
Finding designer furniture to fit your dreams can be expensive, but it doesn't have to be. At Value City Furniture, we've made big changes, so you have more options.
Check out the latest mattress styles from the best brands, Serta and Beauty Rest, all available at the best prices. Plus, right now, the more you buy, the more you save, with up to $1,500 off qualifying purchases, or enjoy 48-month special financing when you spend $19.99 or more. And with our exclusive 120-night sleep guarantee, you're sure to rest easy. Only at Value City Furniture.
Mice, mold, roaches.
We observed repeated critical violations from the initial inspection.
The 9 on Your Side I-Team uncovers 15 tri-state restaurants forced to shut down.
We did an immediate suspension on that.
The health issues hiding behind kitchen doors.
It's sewage at that point. It's not supply of water.
And the restaurants that got back on track.
It's a high standard when we prepare food for the general public.
Dirty Dining, an I-Team investigation. Tonight on 9 on Your Side at 11.
Need glasses now? We have a lens lab in every store and can make them for you in as little as 30 minutes.
Right now, 2 complete pairs with single vision lenses start at $38.71, and 2 pairs with progressive lenses just $76.92. We have a lens lab in every store with an expert staff and state-of-the-art technology, and 91% of our glasses are ready the same day. No one makes glasses faster than we do. I'm Art Express.
Right glasses,
right price,
right now.
Now 75 northbound at Laughlin.
Yeah, Dan Carroll, that's what we're talking about right now. You have live pictures from 9 First Warning Live Drive of that northbound situation on 75 at Union Center where there's a double fader. But as we toss it to you, well, Catherine, it can't get any worse right now.
Everything's messed
75 northbound's closed at the Laughlin Split as well. Dan, what say you, friend?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I'm checking some of my other sources and then on Twitter and things like that. And now we're hearing that northbound 75 in the Laughlin Split, I guess an accident there has things shut down, and then possibly Ronald Reagan at I-75. And you think about that, that could be the same accident. So I've had 2 different reports come my way in the last 30 seconds about that part of 75. But here we look at this accident on 75 north of 275, and we see look at all those trucks that are lined up behind this accident scene. They've got them filing through in a very orderly way. And then you look, they're sort of dodging around that van that is, it looks like a van, that is in the right-hand shoulder, and it looks like that van is facing the wrong way. I don't know if that van belongs to part of the investigative team that's doing some work there, but they're dodging around that in the right-hand shoulder to go ahead and get by. So all that traffic just starting to drain off northbound on 75. Don't mistake this. Don't think that 75 is open now north of 275, because I seriously doubt that it is what I would call open. Just the traffic that was stuck behind this accident scene is being allowed to drain off, and I doubt if it's going to be open for traffic until they go ahead and get the bodies removed. I can see where they are doing that work right now, just off to the right of the picture. So until they get that work done, I don't think 75 is going to be open, and we'll be watching it, and we'll pass that information along as soon as we have that. I'm Dan Carroll in the 9 First Morning Live Drive.
Dan, thank you. I want to pass along a tweet from the Ohio Department of Transportation, who just tweeted this about a minute or so ago. As of 7:30 this morning, ODOT has 600 crews out treating and plowing roads. They said it was a quick-moving, intense snow squall that created slick conditions across much of southern Ohio, and said to be careful if traveling.
Now, that is northbound 75. Thanks for the update there, Catherine. Northbound 75 shut down. This is near Laughlin, just a parking lot this morning, and this really has been the theme throughout the morning.
So trying to navigate your way around this. So in addition to that, you've got the issue at Ronald Reagan. You've got Burlington and Burlington Pike 7175 at Burlington Pike southbound shutdown. Jacqueline, it's a mess everywhere, no matter where you are.
71 and Howard Parks at 275.
So getting to 7175 first, that is still shut down, like you said, Catherine, right around Burlington Pike. It's hard to see because there's this kind of tree in the way, but all of this is that stacked up traffic because it is completely shut down. You can see nothing is filtering through. Now northbound, we have like a broken down big rig, and it's kind of weird because these cars northbound there on that ramp from Burlington Pike to 7175 are very slow go as well, and it looks like cars, a couple that are spun out, and things are just kind of trickling by there on the northbound side. So 7175 down near Burlington Pike, north and southbound, we're dealing with problems on both sides of the interstate. Getting back to 75 northbound, this is 75 right around Davis. The interstate is completely closed and traffic is not moving there on 75. So that's a new problem that we're following for you this morning. And then also that wreck 275 westbound on the Carroll Cropper Bridge has traffic backed up all the way past towards CDG. So if you have to catch a flight this morning, just allow a lot of extra time because traffic westbound on 275 is very, very slow moving. Getting out to your drive time, 71 south and 75 south, those are still climbing. We're at about an hour from both of those drive times into downtown. So really, any way you're looking at it, all across the board, traffic is just slow. So we're going to stay on top of all these closures for you, keep you updated throughout the morning. And Jennifer, really, it's just, we're kind of seeing it everywhere. 275, 71, 75. So any way you slice it, you're going to be dealing with problems, especially on those bridges and overpasses this morning.
And really, it's kind of even expanding beyond the bridges and overpasses now. This squall of snow, this burst of snow came down so quickly that it's even counteracting the 38-degree pavement temperature that many of our roads are still clocking in at. So it's vigorous enough that you're at least getting that snow to stick and accumulate. Then as you get more traffic over those roads, it's starting to melt because of friction, and also that pavement temperature helps. But eventually, this is where it just becomes that much worse and dangerous out there, is then your bridges and overpasses, because they are lifted above the ground, they're colder, and then they're switching back over to ice. So I know it's a lot in motion, but basically you could see a snow-covered road, a wet road, and an icy road in a 2-mile stretch because of the way this is coming down. So here is that latest burst of snow, and again, very intense, kind of low visibility, quickly accumulating. You're not going to end up with a ton to actually measure, but it's enough to cover the road. And right now, that now stretches from Owensville through Batavia, Amelia, down to Lindale, California, and then you go across the river into like Grants Lick and Aspen Grove. This intense snow squall is moving to the east, so continuing out toward Bethel. I mean, if you travel Ohio 125, Route 125, this road from Amelia to Bethel is going to deteriorate here very quickly. If you live even farther to the east, out toward like Hamersville, Georgetown, even down toward Felicity, all of your roads here are going to turn snow-covered very quickly over the next 15 minutes. So just heads up there. Some of the better bursts right now, we're just about ready to come into California and also near New Richmond at this point. But obviously, southern Kenton County still seeing a lot of that heavy snow at this point. You can see from the Ryland Heights, also down to the, I guess, the area called Kenton, Grants Lick still seeing snow, and then a little bit of light snow even coming in toward Vevey. So I've been watching Richwood Road. I actually just heard from my husband. So this is where we get on the interstate and make our way into the city. He said it is backed up past the rest area, which is just here in the distance. He said he got off the interstate and went back home. It was very slow going, and it gets much worse as you get closer there to the rest stop, just 1 mile to the north. And just, I mean, Jacqueline mentioned it's 18 still closed, Jacqueline?
So are you talking about Burlington Pike?
Yes.
So 7175, just a little bit of an update. Southbound, it is shut down. Northbound, there's a completely separate wreck that has a few lanes blocked, backing things up all the way towards Route 42. I have it on Remote 13 if they want to take that for you so you can kind of see it.
Yeah,
there you go. So there's that backup. If you're looking in the right-hand corner of the screen there, that's the traffic on the northbound side of 7175. Again, it's backed up all the way to Route 42 in Florence because of a crash. Closer to Burlington Pike there on the northbound side, and then southbound, no cars are filtering through there because it is completely shut down on the southbound side. So just a quick update for you on 7175 in Northern Kentucky, and we're going to tweet out that information, put it on our website and everything as well. So, you know, not fun, Jen.
Wow. Thank you, Jacqueline, for that immediate update there. And you know that you're not even up to the mall yet. If you're getting off at the 42 exit, I bet a lot of drivers there are trying to ditch the interstate and try to get off on 42 and make their way through the Florence area. It's going to be slow going at this point. This is a little bit farther to the south at this point. So this is the Kentucky split. Once you go past the Richwood exit and then you go where 71 and 75 split, you can also see that snow is covering some of the road there. Not as bad because the better burst of snow went right there over Richwood and then continuing up through the rest stop area into Florence and then continuing all the way up into Erlanger. So, I mean, this wave of snow, it looks about 1 county long. It's probably about 30 miles in length. It is an impactful one because it's hitting so many of our high population centers, including Cincinnati. We haven't seen any big issues kind of south of I-275 unless we've got anything new coming in. But, I mean, it's going now east of town, especially Claremont County. You're the next ones. And, I mean, we're left with temperatures out there in the mid-20s to low 30s. So with time, anything that is liquid and that is not treated, treatment is key here, folks. It would be icy. So just take your time. And Kat and Chris, this snow is still coming down. We're not done yet.
This is about as bad as we've seen it when it comes to the morning commute.
Yeah, as far as traffic goes.
Yeah,
and the funny thing is, the significance of snow isn't really like the amount of snow isn't even there.
Right,
That's
I mean, it almost looks like the roads are dry right there. This is northbound 75. It's been shut down for several hours now.
Yeah, they keep like letting people through a little bit at a time, but you can see there that they're obviously working on their investigation there. This is the site where we know 2 people have died, and so the folks there behind that are stopped right now, some of them have been there for more than 2 hours, closing in on 3 hours at this point. And so as they continue their investigation there, again, they're letting some cars trickle through. Dan Carroll is there live for us, and we will check in with him a little bit later.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with our continuing coverage of this breaking news of the morning commute right now on 9 on Your Side.
Hold on to your boots. Dickies has got just the thing for you adventurous types. Introducing the jalapeno cheddar spicy pulled pork sandwich. Slow smoked pork with spicy sauce, cheddar, and jalapenos for a limited time, so giddy on up. Come on and see us or visit dickies.com.
9 First Warning Live Drive. In your neighborhood, on your streets, tracking breaking news and weather first. Your first warning, your first look. 9 First Warning Live Drive is sponsored by the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky Honda Dealers.
Looking for the car of the year? It's online. What about Best Buy award winners? They're online too. Top picks for safety, 30-time car and driver 10 best, all online. And all at Cincinnati Northern Kentucky Honda Dealers.com.
Honor a nurse. Nurses Among Us, sponsored by Furniture Fair, gives you the chance to do so. Visit wcpo.com/nursesamongus to nominate a special nurse. The grand prize is a $2,000 shopping spree at Furniture Fair.
Going just a day without your teeth can be painful and embarrassing. Do you need same-day dentures? No problem. Affordable, pain-free solutions for same-day dentures. It's that simple. Urgent dental care. Same-day dentures. Same-day solution.
Next up, another shopper who didn't overpay for designer glasses, and all because she went to America's Best. Allison is sporting 7 For All Mankind designer frames, which she just picked up alongside some striking Sofia Vergara's. She got both pairs of glasses and a free eye exam for just $69.95. Work it, girl. Okay, work it a little less, maybe. The designer sales event, it's not just a better deal, it's America's Best. Hurry, sale ends soon. I like this beat.
Last year's ad campaign was a success for ChoiceHotels.com.
Bada book, bada boom.
This year, we're taking it up a notch.
So in this commercial, we see 2 travelers at a Comfort Inn with a glow around them. So people watching will be like, wow, maybe I'll glow too if I book direct at ChoiceHotels.com.
Who glows? Just say bada book, bada boom.
Nobody glows.
He gets it.
Always the lowest price, guaranteed. Book now at choicehotels.com.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Hold on to your boots. Dickies has got just the thing for you adventurous types. Introducing the jalapeno cheddar spicy pulled pork sandwich. Slow smoked pork with spicy sauce, cheddar, and jalapenos for a limited time, so giddy on up. Come on and see us or visit dickies.com.
So we're back here covering breaking news, and Allie Kramer's done a great job here on Twitter, really letting you know what things look like.
Right, we're talking about Boone County schools right now, just coming out about 15 minutes ago. They're on a 2-hour delay, which was a rather late call for them, but that's kind of the effect of that snow that was moving through that Jennifer was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind some of these schools started at 7:30, so this has to be an absolute mess, presumably because of traffic, potentially, as much as because of the weather. I'm looking here, let's see, I'm going back to our delays here. We have 12 delays, many of them 2-hour delays, and a lot of them have been going on for quite a while now.
Also, another traffic update right now. This is just out of CVG as well. At 7175, there's been a multi-vehicle accident westbound between Mineola Pike and Airport exit on 275 east there. So that's kind of another problem that they're going to be looking at, and that's going to create quite a problem if you're heading out to the airport there this morning.
So good luck. You're going to be in like a 4-hour.
I mean, if you're coming in from Butler County and heading down 75 to get to the airport this morning, it's
a mess. And so we were trying in the commercial break here, trying to figure out, okay, which ones are closed and which ones are open. Even if they're open, interstates are just an absolute mess.
Right.
So let's check in with Jacqueline.
Yeah, Jacqueline has the very latest on that. So we have 2 spots. This is the Lachlan split. It looks like it's finally starting to crawl a little bit.
Yeah, so good news there. And really the reality of it, guys, is that there just aren't enough of our cameras to cover all of the problem spots. But we'll try to kind of touch on the main ones for you and tell you some updates on those. So I want to start off on 7175 in northern Kentucky because that is still shut down there on the southbound side. This is all that delay southbound 7175, and you can see no traffic is filtering through right there at Burlington Pike because we have a crash there. So a heads up if you're leaving, heading south out of Ohio into Kentucky, you're going to be hitting this big problem area. Now northbound here, it looks like the camera's frozen, but it's really not. There's just all this stopped traffic. Northbound 7175, we do have a crash that's just before this camera view in that same exact area, and this is the traffic that's completely stopped 7175 all the way back to Route 42 there in Florence, and it looks like we might even have a minor wreck kind of associated with that, pulled over onto the shoulder. So a lot of heavy traffic there on 7175 northbound because of a separate crash that's blocking those left-hand lanes a little bit closer to Burlington Pike there on the northbound side. Once you get past Burlington Pike, it's really not terrible. It's about 25 minutes from there into the city, and 471, you're kind of looking good as well. Getting back to 75 northbound, that was briefly shut down right around Davis and that area near Ronald Reagan. It looks like things are starting to pick up and start moving again, so good news there. It looks like from this traffic camera that the road is no longer closed there on 75 northbound. Probably still some lanes that are blocked in that area, but that is good news. And nonetheless, we're still at about an hour and 5 minutes if you're coming from Butler County, Westchester into downtown. 64 minutes along 75 southbound, and 71 southbound, you're at about 67. So average speeds 15, 18 miles an hour. Our drive times are just red all across the board. So no matter where you're heading out from, just anticipate that very, very heavy traffic, Jennifer.
All right, Jacqueline. Well, here's what the radar looks like now, where our best burst of snow are at this moment. We are at 7:53, so now we're into Claremont County. Snow is out of I-275, and we are going to see some rapid changes in road conditions, and rapid for the better. But this was the corridor that saw most of that snow here within the last hour and a half, and that's where we're seeing most of the traffic implications or the newer events that are happening. And of course, this includes portions of I-275, I-71, and I-75. Now, this is what it looks like at Buttermilk Pike. Guys, let's go back. Sunshine is huge. It is going to melt the snow and make the road conditions better. But if the road's still wet, just heads up, because that could still freeze. We are well below freezing right now. We're heading out to break. I'll leave you with one last look at Richwood Road, where the backup is well past that exit now and probably back toward Walton. We're back after this.
Catch live Ohio Lottery drawings on your official Ohio Lottery station 9 on your side.
50% off plus an extra 10% off. It's the biggest grand opening sale at Morris Home. Get no interest for 12 months. Plus, doorbusters like this reclining sofa just $5.99 through 9 p.m. Monday at Morris Home.
I'll hand you $500 if Tom Gill Chevrolet can't beat the advertised new car price of any other dealer.
The lowest priced new car lease or purchase includes
Scotchgard fabric protection,
Scotchgard paint protection,
lifetime oil changes,
lifetime car washes,
lifetime tire rotations,
and lifetime service loaners.
You simply can't buy or lease a new vehicle for less than you can a Tom Gill Chevrolet.
Only one way to find out. See us.
Tom Gill Chevrolet, Florence, Kentucky.
9 First Warning Live Drive is sponsored by the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky Honda dealers.
This is a journey like no other.
Real.
Unexpected. Life-changing.
This is American Idol on America's Network, ABC. The journey begins Sunday.
Water. Fire. Mold. They can turn your life upside down. But Teasdale Fenton Restoration is here to help. From cleanup to total reconstruction. Teasdale Fenton is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you need us most, we're here for you. Tell your insurance provider that you want Teasdale Fenton Restoration. It is your choice.
I love it when someone really listens.
Coco!
Like my CertaPro painters. They listened and answered all my questions about painting my home. Worked around my crazy schedule, provided expert service, and kept me informed with daily updates. I am so happy with CertaPro and my beautifully painted home. I'm having them paint my office, too.
Coco, sit.
CertaPro Painters. We do painting. You do life. Get a free home estimate at CertaPro.com.
Blizzards in the late 70s, a flood of 92, and record-breaking cold in 2050. We get it all when it comes to Cincinnati wind. Whatever comes our way, we'll be here to warn you first.
Celebrate our grand opening with a grand offer. Sleep better on a Tempur-Pedic mattress, now only $24 a month with no interest for 60 months. For even better sleep, add on the base of your choice and get a free $300 gift card at the Better Sleep Shop in Morris Home and Ashley Home Store.
You are looking live at I-75 northbound, just north of 275, where a fatal accident has claimed 2 lives earlier this morning. Traffic stuck behind this accident scene for hours, being allowed to move on right now. I'm Dan Carroll in the 9 First Warning Live Drive.
Hey, thanks, Dan. And I do want to give you an update on 275 right near the AA highway. That is now completely shut down, and this is the backup right around Taylor Mill. So again, 275 westbound, a new closure that we're following. It is completely shut down there at 275. Traffic backing up all the way to Taylor Mill. Another closure we're following, 7175 right at Burlington Pike. That is shut down southbound. Northbound, we have delays because of a completely separate crash all the way back into Florence. So we're following that for you as well. I want to leave you with some drive time. 71 south. We're now up to 75 minutes from 275 to Fort Washington Way in our traffic map. It's just red everywhere.
Wow. And you're going to see a transition of more traffic issues soon on I-275 on the southeast side of town. There you see it where the snow just passed. And then Claremont County, especially watch out on 32 and 125, guys. It's about to get worse.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more.
You get all the best from Front Room Furnishings with savings on the foremost selection, including all custom orders. With our best bonus offers, special financing, and pay nothing now. All the best. You'll find it at Front Room.
We know you have better things to do than shop around all over town for a new car. Save time and money when you shop King's Auto Mall. Largest auto mall in the Midwest with 16 dealerships, thousands of vehicles in one location, and a car purchased every 7 minutes. There's a car for everyone. Over 1 million happy customers and growing every day. King's Auto Mall is Ohio's favorite place to buy for over 30 years.
Come get it all at King's Auto Mall.
Big Boy is back with an all-new Big Catch Hot Seafood Bar. Dive into our new delicious baked whitefish. Crunch away with our new cod nuggets and our golden crinkle-cut fries. Savor endless popcorn shrimp, biscuits, hush puppies, and more. Here at Frisch's Big Catch Hot Seafood Bar.
Fish ahoy, big boy!
Your fabulous new figure is just a phone call away at the Plastic Surgery Group. All-inclusive breast augmentation is just $4,900. That's right, $4,900 with saline or silicone implants. Call now and schedule your complimentary consultation. The Plastic Surgery Group.
Nobody delivers value and choice like Front Room Furnishings.
Take these 2 sofas in stock and on sale now.
Plus, choose from over 50 fabrics and pillows at the same sale price.
Don't settle, select at Front Room.
Thicker and Better, weekdays at 3 on 9 on your side.
Good morning, Tri-State. We're back now as we're approaching 8 o'clock. We're dealing with extended coverage of the breaking news we've been following all morning long. Traffic is a mess. No matter where you are on any major roadway here in the Tri-State, there's probably some sort of shutdown right now.
Absolutely. And if there's not a shutdown, it's certainly slow, extremely slow. And so ODOT, the Ohio Department of Transportation, has been out and about. Brian Cunningham is on the phone with us right now. And Brian, you guys tweeted a little bit ago that you have 600 crews out trying to treat these roads. That's what, statewide. What are we looking at here in the Tri-State?
We have about around 160 or so. Now, all those folks aren't out at the same time because, you know, overnight we had crews in probably starting around 2 a.m. in the northern part of the district, which would be up in the Preble and Butler area. We did have some crews in Hamilton, and they were working in the northern part of Hamilton County. During that time, the southern part of Hamilton and Claremont County didn't have any in, simply because it hadn't come through there. So it was a unique system. The pavement conditions were just warm enough that when the snow hit, it melted, and as the melting occurred, it lowered the pavement conditions, and then we had a snap freeze in the northern part of our District 8.
Yeah, I mean, this is worse than if we had 6 inches, 8 inches of snow on the ground right now, it seems like.
Absolutely, and it's because of that wet pavement and then the freezing. We were out treating, we just couldn't get out to all the locations as that system moved through.
So where are you seeing the biggest issues right now?
No, it looks like it's just north of 275 and 75. Also on I-71, just north of 275 is where we're having some issues. Again, we're out treating. We started moving into the Claremont County area, and hopefully the sun will help to increase the pavement temperatures, and we will not have that ice or black ice that has occurred.
Jennifer was just saying yes when you were talking about that. The sun is starting to shine, which hopefully will be, you know, a contributing factor to help and give you guys a major assist with this battle of clearing these roads this morning.
And ice is, you know, it's really tricky, not only from the treatment of it, but identifying where it is. And some places it hasn't frozen, and other places it has. So your comment about the 6 inches of snow, we can see that, right. Obviously. The ice can get a little bit trickier, both for treating as well as driving on.
And really, I mean, it's obvious, but part of the issue is when the interstates or parking lots, even if you wanted to go try to retreat these areas, the trucks can't get through.
And that's very true. We're dealing with the same traffic that everybody else is. Like I said, we were out early, you know, between 2 and 3, but once folks wake up and try to get to work, we're in the same traffic jams that everybody else is.
Brian Cunningham joining us from the Ohio Department of Transportation. We appreciate the update. Anything else we need to know, especially for those viewers who are getting ready to head out the door?
All right, thanks, Chris. So kind of touching in on all those problem spots. There are a ton of them, but I do want to update you on 275 westbound. I told you a little bit earlier that the interstate is shut down closer to the AA highway. This is the backup all the way into Taylor Mill, and it looks like things are kind of trickling on by there on 275 westbound. So for now, it looks like the interstate is still blocked, but maybe traffic is kind of easing on by on the shoulder or something. But that portion of 275 is the most recent closure. Another one that we've been following for you is 7175 southbound. No cars are filtering through here because it is completely shut down. We have a crash that's a little bit closer to Burlington Pike that has 7175 southbound completely shut down. Northbound here, those are the delays that you're seeing because of a completely separate accident in that same spot, 7175 northbound near Burlington Pike. And it looks like we even have some secondary crashes that are pulled over onto the shoulder associated with that wreck. Now, it looks like traffic, again, kind of trickling on by. We know that the left-hand lanes are blocked there on 7175 southbound. If we get out to our drive times, we've hit the triple digits, folks, on 71 southbound. I did just see, just came into our newsroom, there is a crash 71 south right at MLK, so that's just contributing to the typical morning rush, the typical slowdowns that we are dealing with. And then northbound on 71, closer to Montgomery Road in Kenwood, we have a completely separate crash. So 75 southbound right at Westchester. That's at 55 minutes, but I want you to check out the big board just so you can kind of have a look and just see that anywhere you're going to head out, you're going to have problems. So if you do have to go to work this morning, just expect that your commute is going to take, I mean, almost double for a lot of the places. And we actually do have some video from an earlier crash that we were following for you this morning. 75 southbound or northbound rather, there right at Union Center. We did have a double fatal accident there. This is actually from our photographer, Terry Helmer, who was kind of passing on by a little bit earlier this morning. So the interstate, again, still blocked up there. And we had another crash southbound as well. So that's kind of a mess up there, 75, that portion of it. So again, any part of town that you're heading out, just expect that you're going to be dealing with some very heavy delays. And we're going to stay on top of this for you, continue to tweet it out, put it on our website, and let you know the most updated information that we do have on the roads, Jennifer.
Yeah. And Jacqueline, this started as bridges and overpasses, especially there to north. I was watching that video of where we have that those confirmed fatalities. They drove over a bridge. You could see where the air was able to get underneath that bridge. It would have just been complete black ice whenever they hit that, and hard to see in the overnight hours, and probably looked like it was more wet than anything, but it was that exposure underneath the road that allowed that pavement temperature to drop and just could cause those big issues. So earlier it was all up here to the north. That's where the main concerns were. Now you're getting some sunshine, and that pavement actually should be in much better shape, and we're going to start to see improved road conditions, especially out farther to the west, because again, you're getting more of that sun coming in. It's going to work its magic. But I did check pavement temperatures at Harrison, also near I-275, more toward NK, kind of where it meets up at 471. Both say 34.5 degrees, so we're barely above freezing. A good vigorous snow shower would definitely accumulate, but it's going to partially melt and then refreeze because of the air temp. Now, right now, that heavy snow that came through this main population area and this main corridor of traffic is now out into Claremont County, but getting much more into the kind of the heart of Brown County, too. Specifically, watch out there on 68. Route 32. I know on 32 you can get up to a pretty good speed. You need to be careful this morning, because not only are you going to run in to that more kind of heavy snow band that's coming through right now, you'll have the snow-covered road, and then as you get closer to the city, once you get past, getting almost closer to the Batavia area, that's where you're going to run into where it's probably transitioning more now to ice, because that snow is melting thanks to traffic out there. So watch out on 32. The same can be said down on 125 as you get back toward Bethel and Georgetown, Hamersville, all of those kind of not main interstates, but those are main travel sectors for those of you out in Brown County and out throughout Claremont County. You're going to run into some problems there, so heads up. We don't have traffic cameras out there, but from what this has been doing, you know that those issues are just going to keep repeating as this goes to the east. From Mount Olive back down to Moscow, we've got actually a really heavy band of snow there, and that is getting ready to cross over 125, specifically getting really close to Hamersville and just shy of Georgetown. So heads up in those locations. The very back edge of this is down toward Kohler, Mount Auburn, still, just barely there into Campbell County and the southern part. This will move out, but the residual effect of this snow is going to linger for at least a good hour if you're not stuck in traffic on top of it. So this is the area to watch now over the next 30 minutes. Georgetown's going to be one of those big places, Russellville, and then also look at 62 here. So far, 62 has been in really good shape out there in Ohio, but it is going to deteriorate quickly in the next 30 minutes because of this snow that is moving due east, and the snow has not given up. So my problem spots map has been
adjusting throughout the morning. If you watched earlier today, it was just the north. As the day went on, we started to see those problem spots switching in more to the Lawrenceburg area, northern Boone County. Now we're pushing all the way through Claremont County, and it's still the elevated surfaces where you're going to see the majority of the snow still sticking, but, you know, this came down as just snow. And as we heard from, who was the transportation person we just talked to, guys? Brian Cunningham from ODOT. I mean, great perspective of what happened. The snow fell. It hit the pavement where it was above freezing. They can see from their sensors at ODOT that all of our pavement temperatures are above freezing. Now, earlier this morning, around 38, they've continued to drop. Then with time, it turned back into that black ice, which is why the bridges and overpasses turned first. But the sun is going to help. Here's the progress that's being made out of Buttermilk Pike. I mean, this was totally snow-covered about an hour ago. The sun is working its magic. We are warming up, and the pavement temperature is going to respond quickly to that. Pavement increases more quickly in temperature than you'd really imagine. Then looking out at Richwood, still in the shoulder there, a lot of snow cover, but the main lanes, because of friction, it's kind of working away some of that snowfall. Here are the southbound lanes coming from near the rest area and then getting toward the Richwood exit. Again, a little more traffic there would actually help the situation to get some of this snow to melt. But if you come over to an elevated surface, that's where you could still have more of the snow cover and the ice lingering. Now, this was all part of some scattered snow showers that moved through overnight. The placement, I mean, if this had come down anywhere else, rural area, the impact would have been so much more minimal. But we are talking about a band of heavy snow. Although it didn't accumulate all that much, it was incredibly impactful. All right, Catherine, Chris.
Jennifer, thank you. Let's get more perspective for those that are out there. Mario Silva joining us on the phone this morning. He's on 471 right now.
All right, so Mario, where are you and what have you seen so far?
Just coming down 275 towards coming into 471, an overturned car on the right-hand side. On the left side on 275 going towards Florence, another overturned car on the bridge. And me just coming over the entrance from 275 on the 471 on ramp. The car behind me did a full-on U-E, so that is totally blocked from the black ice on that bridge.
So he turned around because it was blocked?
Yeah, because I got through because the ice. He totally turned around facing the other way, so that is blocked. So he figures out how to turn his car around.
Where did you start? How long has it taken you to get to 471?
Well, I started at 6:50 this morning, and right now I'm on exit 3 Fort Thomas, and it's nice. Roads are clear.
Oh, that's good.
Sun's out.
So what is your tip?
It's the bridges that are covered.
What is your typical commute time, though, Mario?
About 20 to 30 minutes.
And you're looking at more than 2 hours at this point?
Probably an hour and a half.
At least you got a good excuse to be late for work.
Yeah.
We won't dock you, we promise.
Yeah, very scary.
We'll mention it to everybody. Make sure that you're present and accounted for. I'm glad you're safe. Right. Thanks for the update. It's good stuff here. You're looking at some pictures from our traffic cams from northern Kentucky. You can see some of the snow that was on the roads from a little bit earlier.
Right. So that's that 7175, that southbound area right there near Burlington Pike. It is shut down and has been for a while. And the issue there is what's interesting is in all the years of doing snow delays and school delays and all of that, I have never heard of a traffic delay or a school delay, and that's what's happened in Boone County. They didn't call the school delay until well into the morning because nobody could get anywhere, presumably. We're trying to get in touch with Boone County folks to figure out exactly what's going on there.
Cincy proper now has enacted, the Cincinnati Police Department enacted an emergency auto accident reporting procedure. So many that while it's in effect, they only respond to injury-related accident. Drivers involved in non-injury accidents should exchange information and report it at a later time. That's how swamped right now first responders are in the city.
So if you have folks out on the highways and they're not where they're supposed to be, this is the reason why. And we will stay here with coverage for you right here on Good Morning Tri-State, the extended edition, right when we return.
More love, less mess. With less litter. World's best cat litter. It's a litter bit amazing.
You
need these 3 game changers in your life. 1, Trends. Don't be the last one on your street without a chicken.
Whoa! Homegrown. Homegrown.
2, Deals. Feed your family of 4 for $50 a week.
That's what I'm talking about. I didn't think we could do it, and now you can do it too.
3, Life Hacks. Birds on mess? Use eggshells.
It's working.
Exceptionally clean.
You deserve a win. Get it with The List.
The List, weeknights at 7:30 on 9 on Your Side.
This is a journey like no other.
Real.
Unexpected. Life-changing.
This is American Idol on America's Network, ABC. The journey begins Sunday.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Last year's ad campaign was a success for ChoiceHotels.com.
Bada book, bada boom.
This year, we're taking it up a notch.
So in this commercial, we see 2 travelers at a Comfort Inn with a glow around them. So people watching will be like, wow, maybe I'll glow too if I book direct at ChoiceHotels.com. Who glows? Just say bada book, bada boom.
Nobody glows.
He gets it.
Always the lowest price, guaranteed. Book now at ChoiceHotels.com.
The following is a paid program. WCPO 9 on Your Side does not necessarily endorse or support the claims made in the program.
Going just a day without your teeth can be painful and embarrassing. Do you need same-day dentures? No problem. Affordable, pain-free solutions for same-day dentures. It's that simple. Urgent dental care. Same-day dentures. Same-day solution.
When the weather changes, your top priorities don't. That's why we warn you first.
Good morning, everyone. It is a very messy commute across most of the main interstates, and we are dealing with a lot of closures out there. So I want to touch in on some of those in northern Kentucky that we've been dealing with because of a lot of the icy conditions. So one of the more recent closures, 275 right around the AA highway, that is completely shut down on both sides. And this is the delay that we're seeing, 275 eastbound right there as you're approaching 471. So really causing delays 275 east and westbound because the interstate is blocked both ways right around Kentucky 9. Heading over to 7175, the southbound side, you can see there's no cars filtering on through. That's been shut down for a few hours now because of a crash on the southbound side near Burlington Pike. Northbound, we have a completely separate crash that's blocking those left-hand lanes, and we're seeing that heavy traffic all the way back to Route 42 there in Florence. Even noticed some secondary accidents there in the camera views, kind of pulled over onto the shoulder there. So northern Kentucky, we have a couple of closures there. We head on to 71 southbound. Right at MLK, we have a crash there with multiple vehicles involved. That's pulled over onto the shoulder. But once you get through to MLK, things are looking good. Unfortunately, if you're commuting from Mason, that drive time is it's very long. Right now, we're at 89 minutes along 71 southbound, and there's no major wrecks along that portion of 71. It's just, you know, all that heavy traffic there. Also, I had one of my friends who's trying to detour around that, going on Columbia Parkway, kind of from the Hyde Park area, and she said Columbia Parkway is a mess as well. So 75 south, 71, 75, all of our drive times are in the red. And if we check in on our big board, I kind of looked into our system there, and I think I counted it was like 51, 52 wrecks that are just in this camera view right here alone. So we're slowly seeing things start to turn orange from red. So that's a minor improvement there. But hey, you know, Jennifer, we'll take any improvement at this point.
Absolutely, Jacqueline, we will. Well, we still have snow on the move at this point. Now it has left the city center and it is outside of I-275. Now everything is still pretty much snow covered behind this. So if you're going back, especially toward the southeast side of town, back to Milford, Sims Township, Anderson Township, those are all still going to have fresh snow and throughout a lot of Claremont County. But then I want to show you where this is going in next and who is about to get some new issues out there. From Bethel to Felicity, we have heavier snow, and it's finally now into Georgetown. You also have a nice little band of snow from Mount Orb over to 62. So, I mean, with all that heading east, you're going to have those hit or miss pockets. I also have a little pocket of snow back on 71 there in northern Kentucky, south of the 71-75 split. That is going east more toward Crittenden and Dry Ridge. bridge, so even some minor issues there. But specifically, let's get a little bit closer of what's happening here in Brown County. So there's Georgetown, and as you go up to Bethel there on 125, active snow showers. So along this road here, that's where I would watch out, not only for that snow to be sticking right now, but in the next 15 minutes, it will go from a sticking snow to melting a little bit, and then you get those icy spots. Not as many elevated surfaces here on 125, but you do get some spots where you have some little bridges over your rivers here and there, so do watch out, because even those elevated spots could have some problems. And then you get back into the southern part of Claremont County, back to the Felicity area, and all the way back toward the river near Moscow, and they're on 52 again, highly trafficked area back through Chilo as well. That is where we've had that big burst of snow, likely snow covered, and it's still coming down at this point. Now, overnight, we've been hearing about all these reports of north of the city, and you're like, well, we haven't had any snow in the north of the city since, I don't know, 4 or 5 a.m. And it all fell about 2 to 3 a.m. in this northern spot. Saw that snow. It was the secondary burst that came through at the peak morning drive that has just magnified what started as very isolated spots. So this was sent to us from Brett Salisbury early this morning, about 4:30 in the morning, and he was up on the northern side of I-275 and then went north toward Monroe, and he said it was just those bridges. It would be a wet road, he'd go over the bridge, and he would notice it was icy, and that's where a lot of our early accidents started to come in. Then it transitioned to the later morning burst of snow once the sun started to rise, and here's a video from in Union, more toward, kind of, you know where the old Kroger is? It's just north of there is where this video was taken along US 42, and you can see that the snow quickly covered the ground there. And, you know, it's been an issue of bridges and overpasses, but now it's really transitioning more to not just the elevated surfaces where the cold air could get below and above it. It has become an interstate-wide, local road-wide problem because the snow is coming down at such a quick clip that, Catherine and Chris, it's been sticking, and we are obviously seeing the residual effects of that, and we're going to deal with it here still for a couple of hours this morning.
Well, let's show you some more pictures from outside. Now, this is from Kentucky 18 in Burlington. So we take a look now on Apple TV. This picture, right, shows you just how nasty the roads were at one point earlier this morning.
So this picture was taken by Sherry Ryle, mom to our reporter Jake Ryle, and Sherry's on the phone with us right now. So this is Burlington Pike. Sherry, tell us about how that trip was for you this morning.
Well, I left to come to school, and it normally takes me maybe 15 minutes if I get stopped by a lot of lights. Today it took me 40 minutes. So it was maybe 15 to 20 hours, really slippery road.
What time of the morning was this when you took the picture?
That was probably around 7.
So, Sherry, that's about the same time that when we were speaking with the folks at the Kentucky Department of Transportation, they were saying there were so many accidents out that they didn't have enough units to dispatch to them. Now, what school do you work at, Sherry?
I work at Dorothy Howell Elementary in Ellesmere.
Okay. I know that, did you guys have any delays at all?
We did not have delays, but we did have teachers that were having a hard time getting here, students that were having a hard time getting here just because of the road conditions.
I would imagine like any other, place of business,
right.
It's just hard to get
to.
Do
you know any buses delayed?
We are no buses, so we did not have any bus delays this morning.
So your trip in a little longer than expected, but we're glad you're okay, and we thank you for sharing this picture with us this morning.
Sure, everybody just needs to take their time and be safe.
You can't say it enough. Yeah.
I know she's proud of her son. He does a bang-up job. All right. Well done. Have a good school day there. Let's go to Allie Kramer now, who is joining us now via the phone as well. So, Allie, good morning to you. Give us an update on your current location. And looks like you're still in quite a bit of traffic right now.
I am, which is so strange because we're right here on 275 headed westbound. And we're right here by the Route 50 Lawrenceburg, Aurora, Greendale exit 16. If you're familiar with the area, we're trying to get across the Carroll Cropper Bridge. We knew full well that there was an accident on the bridge. Probably has not cleared up yet based on the traffic that we're sitting in. But you can see the roads are actually pretty dry here. It's sunny outside. I mean, I'm not really seeing, the trouble spots where we are on 275. So it must be right there as you're coming across the bridge that they really saw all of that trouble. We've been trying to get into northern Kentucky for an hour and a half now, and hopefully we're getting somewhere. There's a tow truck coming on the other side, maybe a fender bender there. So We have seen salt trucks out, though, so there's a little bit of positive news, but they were driving in the eastbound lanes where it was dry again, so maybe they're just working their way over there.
So, Allie, you've been around on 275 for what seems like ever. What have you seen as far as how the conditions have changed?
So 275, Catherine, over where we got on at 747, and then as we kind of came around the bend toward Blue Rock, there was an overpass there, and it was terrible. And I tweeted some videos, and that's why they warn you about the overpasses, and you're always like, yeah, I know, bridges and overpasses. But until you really see it, hit it, and feel that ice there, that's when you kind of realize that everybody has to slow down for that. And then all of a sudden, 275 past 74, all of a sudden it cleared up. It was dry as a bone, sun shining, not a lick of traffic, and then this is just barely where we started to hit that traffic again.
Okay, give me some sense of time. You started roughly around 747, I guess that would be around Butler County-ish, to where you are now. How long has it taken?
Oh gosh, from 747 trying to get all the way down there, it was about 645, so we're looking at about an hour and 45 minutes total. And we're still not even into northern Kentucky yet.
Yeah, we sent you when the snow started.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, we'll be there in 30 minutes, and it's almost 2 hours later. And Allie, thank you. And that's the plight of so many people. If you want to hop on Twitter, by the way, the long and convoluted commute of one of our assignment manager is on Twitter. What should be probably a 20-30 minute drive seems like it's taking in excess of 90 at this point, and he's updating us with pictures throughout. WCPO is retweeting it.
8:25 is the time right now. The breaking news we've been following all morning long is the nightmare commute that everybody's been facing by this quick pop-up snowstorm that kind of was warm enough with the roads, then it froze to ice, and now it's created a mess. We'll have more on that when we come back right after this.
Oh, this is bad. Can I help? Dentist, huh? I'll pass. Think it'll be faster if I wait for someone else.
Last time I dealt with a dentist, it took forever.
Look, I get it. But Aspen Dental is making things easier. So you get your dentures in days and a money-back guarantee.
That does sound easy.
Fire her up.
Should have married a dentist.
We're not the dentist you remember. We're easier. With dentures starting at $3.99 and a money-back guarantee. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL.
Huge March savings event at American Freight. Sofas from $198, sectionals from $298, 2 mattress sets any size from only $298, 7-piece living room packages from $398. Don't wait, take it home today with low easy payments. Same-day delivery, free layaway, ends March 31st at American Freight in Fairfield at the corner of State Route 747 in Mulhauser, and in Florence at the corner of Turfway and Dixie.
You may feel unprepared or overwhelmed as a caregiver. Council on Aging can help.
It's too many people. I got it. I can do it. I don't need nobody. But you do. It'll mean everything to you. Everything to you and your family, because sometimes your family can't be there.
Council on Aging offers services such as meals, medical transportation, and support for caregivers to help people live with independence and dignity in their homes. Contact Council on Aging for help.
Water, fire, mold. They can turn your life upside down. But Teasdale Fenton Restoration is here to help. From cleanup to total reconstruction. Teasdale Fenton is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you need us most, we're here for you. Tell your insurance provider that you want Teasdale Fenton Restoration. It is your choice.
If you're injured, call O'Connor, Achani, and Levy. The law firm you choose makes a difference.
Welcome back, everyone. I want to update you on another closure, unfortunately, and most of the ones that we're seeing right now are in northern Kentucky. So this one is a new one, 275 westbound right at Dixie. You can see those emergency crews are completely blocking off that portion of the interstate, and traffic obviously not going anywhere anytime soon. So just a heads up there, if you're taking 275 westbound, or you typically do, there's a crash there. We also have a crash on 275 over to the AA highway. The interstate is shut down on both sides there on 275, and this is the backup eastbound there right around 4 471. So that's also another problem spot for us this morning. If we get out to our big board, you can see kind of anywhere you go, there's going to be a wreck out there. So just expect a very slow commute. Going down to 7175, southbound looks to be still shut down here right at Burlington Pike because of a crash. Northbound 7175, we have a separate crash in that area, and this is the backup all the way into Florence, still out there, Route 42. Traffic has been kind of crawling for the past hour or so. So just prepare for that if you're heading out on 7175. Now, if we're getting out to 71 southbound, that drive time, it's a little bit better. The last time we checked in, I think it was at about 95 minutes. Now we're at about 83, but still average speeds about 12 miles an hour and no major wrecks. We do have one northbound on 71 right around Montgomery and then southbound right at MLK, but still just very, very slow traffic. So a heads up for those of you coming from Mason or anywhere north of 275. It is a very, very long commute. So Jennifer, we just need those drive times to go down.
What'd you say, Chris?
Does she have numbers to go that high?
Do you have numbers that
Yeah, we were just at 100, unfortunately.
Oh,
so
my
it's
goodness.
a little bit of an improvement. We went down 20 minutes.
And, you know, main interstates coming into Cincinnati. This is obviously where Jacqueline has all of her resources at. But then this is still moving east to where we're kind of getting the on-camera view. And I want to show you guys some of the spots that we still need to watch. And there's another little squall coming. Yeah, apparently we haven't had enough this morning. Go ahead and take this full, Peter, if you don't mind. I'm talking to our director back there, director extraordinaire. So what we're looking at is, see this up near Spiceland, up on I-70. So Cincinnati will be way down here at the bottom of the screen. We're talking about coming in toward Connorsville. So Union, Fayette, also in the more northern part of our viewing area. This is going to the southeast. So we've got another squall, but this one, if the trajectory keeps it a little more north of the city, so eventually getting more into Butler County, maybe that very northern part of I-275 again. But I've got another one to watch. And of course, the main squall that came through the city, especially the south side going into northern Kentucky, it is still dropping heavy snow and a quick burst of snow at Mount Orb along 68 all the way down toward Georgetown, back through Felicity, and now finally more into the Augusta area. Heads up if you're in Ripley, West Union, really any part now of Adams County, you guys are in the line next for that snow squall to come through. And then we have a pocket of lighter snow back towards Sanders, Bromley, Glencoe, and even Napoleon. But this one just heading Dewey, some lighter snow there near Dry Ridge. So for those of you that have yet to have snow, but it's heading towards you, here's what's going to happen. The snow will fall and likely accumulate lightly out there on the road and drop down your visibility. But our pavement temperature is still above freezing. So it starts to melt. With time, that refreeze happens, and for some of you, it happens very quickly because our air temperature is below freezing, and that's why you can be going along on a wet road, and then you see in the distance the ice there on the overpasses and bridges. But guys, I mean, as we've heard, Catherine and Chris, it's not just the bridges and overpasses at this point. There are a lot of impacts, really, despite what you're driving on.
Jennifer, thank you. 8:30 now, 24 degrees still outside. Let's get more information and insight from those that are trying to clean up this mess. Nancy Wood joins us now.
Yeah, Nancy from the Kentucky Transportation Department, which covers all of our northern Kentucky counties. And Nancy, how's it going for you guys and your crews this morning?
It's a slow go, definitely. The squall just seemed to hit along that 275 area. It was crazy. I live off Buttermilk, and coming into work, there was nothing. And then just one road over, just to see the impact that it's having. But our crews are out there trying to get to them as quickly as they can, but with all the backups right now, it's hard to get our trucks out there to treat some of these icy areas.
So right now we're looking at a view of right there at Burlington Pike, 7175, and it looks like cars are coming southbound, so it's back open this morning. But there is, comparatively to some of the other cameras that we see, more significant amount of snow there on 7175 southbound. Is that what you guys have found heading your trucks out this morning?
Yes. I had a friend that was trying to make her way over to teach in Boone County on 275, and it took her an hour and a half. And it's just one of these things, these squalls, they happen so quickly that it's hard to get our trucks out there to treat it, because it seemed like the damage has already happened with some of the icy conditions on the bridges and overpasses. So once cars started hitting those areas and having, spin outs or a collision, it just caused a backup quickly on our interstates over here in northern Kentucky.
Yeah, it couldn't have happened timing-wise more worse than for that morning commute than what it did. Can you give us a sense of how many crews you have out and what they're doing right now?
Well, right now we have our Boone, Kenton, and Campbell County crews out. I called some other areas, Gallatin County. It's sunny, and they're getting ready to handle out some of their other duties today. Grant County didn't see anything. It's just that 275 area that seemed to really get hit today. So Boone, Kenton, and Campbell are out, and they're out treating roadways. And the sun, hopefully that'll stay out, and it'll also help the morning commute as well.
I was going to ask, I mean, obviously you guys have been on this since early this morning. Are you seeing the trouble spots taper off a little bit?
It's hard to get to them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at some of the Artemis cameras as well, and I know from talking to our drivers, when backups like this happen, it's hard to get our trucks into these areas to treat. But we got a great batch of people who are out there, and they will get there as quickly as possible.
Thank them for us, Nancy. We appreciate all the work that they do, you do. Thanks for the update this morning right here on Good Morning Tri-State.
All right, and one more thing. Jacqueline just let us know that as we saw those cars filtering through their 7175 southbound on Burlington Pike, that's great news. But also, there was an issue 275 westbound at Dixie. So, like Nancy was saying, that whole area. But she's saying that looks like cars are filtering through there as well. So that's good news. It may not be quick, but at least you're moving.
More reports and perspective now from our crews. Allie Kramer joins us once again. So, Allie, once again, can you pinpoint your location? Tell us what you're seeing.
Hey guys, 275 westbound just came across. I guess this is southbound now that I'm in northern Kentucky. Just came across the Carroll Cropper Bridge, and I was sitting in standstill traffic before the bridge. All cleared now. That crash is not blocking any of those lanes now. This is the Petersburg Road exit, and we're hitting our brakes here, and you guys can see it on our camera. Man, the sun is shining, and might be partially responsible for those delays, but if you bear with me, I can see the flashing lights in the distance, the not so far distance. So let's see what we've got as we come up on this. It looks like a car on its side. Guys, bear with us because the sun is shining here. But you're going to see it right here on the left side of your screen in just a second. So the roads over here don't seem that bad. They just kind of seem wet. And all, coming leading up to the Carroll Cropper Bridge, again, mostly dry on the Indiana side of things. Can you guys see this? We really can't pull over and stop. This is a camera that's mounted in the front of the car.
We can see it, Allie.
This is a car that is on its side, some serious damage.
Boy, that's tough stuff right there.
Boone County Sheriff is still on the scene. This may have happened quite a bit earlier because I would imagine there are injuries involved in that crash. We'll get some more information on that, but nobody left, just the car and one sheriff. And it's not blocking any lanes. It's there in the grassy median. So, again, we're just barely getting into northern Kentucky. I will let you know and check in again when we hit some of those spots that have seen a little bit more of that snow, while we're also trying to avoid, Dixie Highway, the AA, and getting stuck in that traffic as well.
Right. Allie, we appreciate it. It's funny, when you got past that car that was on its side, you picked up your speed once again. You can still see the roads are wet.
The conditions, though, look much, much better than they have over the last hour or so.
Drive safe. Wipers are on there. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more coverage of the breaking news we've been following all morning long with this morning commute.
So I never had closet systems before. Our designer, Bridget, was able to listen and ask the right questions, taking our ideas and making them happen. We were totally satisfied from beginning to end. I knew the California Closets would help me with every aspect of the design process, and they delivered 100%. My name is Teresa, and this is my California Closet story.
Whether you work inside or out, at home or away, on a farm or online, the goods and services you sell are your business. When you need someone you trust to begin, build, expand, or promote your business, that's our business. LCNB National Bank, your bank for life.
At Fiesel, we offer a true lifetime warranty on all labor and materials. No asterisks, no middleman, no fine print. Lifetime warranty, price match guarantee, 12 months same as cash financing. Schedule your free inspection today at visalink.com.
Whether it's a new Toyota,
a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram,
a Polaris, Can-Am, or CF Moto,
or a great pre-owned vehicle,
the Marshall Auto Group is here to serve you. It's what we're about. Great service.
And low prices.
Don't forget about our complimentary lifetime powertrain protection. We're easy to find.
Marshall Dry Ridge Toyota, Marshall Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Marshall Motors of Florence, and Marshall Power Sports.
The Marshall Auto Group. Fun, fast, and easy.
MedMart, family-owned and operated for more than 30 years, has helped generations of families maintain independence and mobility. From lift chairs to stair lifts, adjustable beds to affordable scooters, our highly trained consultants will help you find the right solutions so you can age in place. Call us, go online, or visit one of our home medical supply superstores to see everything that MedMart has to offer, including financing, rental, and home delivery service. At MedMart, we provide everything you need to stay in the home you love.
Honor a nurse. Nurses Among Us, sponsored by Furniture Fair, gives you the chance to do so. Visit wcpo.com/nursesamongus to nominate a special nurse. The grand prize is a $2,000 shopping spree at Furniture Fair.
Good morning, Tri-State. Continuing coverage of breaking news we've been following all morning long. We've had a small snow squall come through, easy for me to say, and it's created just a nightmare out there on the roads. Morning commute's been rough. It's even canceled and delayed a couple of schools.
Lots of 2-hour delays, including Boone County schools, and Eric McCarter, the deputy superintendent there at Boone County, joins us now. And Eric, all right, tell us about your way in, and really you were kind of one to sound the alarm about maybe we should delay things.
Yeah, so my way in, when I started my track from my house, it was fine. It was clear, it was dry, and then just like that, it was a snow burst that started covering the roads where I was driving. And then I started getting reports from my people out in the field, my director of transportation and my director of facilities, and said that it was really snowing at a really good pace up in the northern section of our county. And so when I got into our office, started getting some other reports, and that's when we made the decision to do the 2-hour delay, which I think is going to help us tremendously. I think there are still some slick spots out there, and our road county crews are out doing the best they can, but there's just a lot of traffic at this point. And I think they're doing the best they can to get their the roads salted. And but I think with the sun coming out and the daylight, I think that's going to help things tremendously in our case.
So we have pictures up with you right now, Eric. Just hang tight right there. 275 and Dixie Highway this morning. You can see an accident there. It looks like it's starting to divert traffic off the highway there. But you talk about just bad timing, especially for people getting up and kids getting up and heading to school.
Yes, we already had our buses start around 6 in the morning of going to different routes. And we already had buses out and in some cases even arriving at schools. It was a very traumatic experience, I guess, for some because it started snowing as they were on their way in. But we did get kids delivered to school, and in some cases we told the buses just to stay put until the weather passed because this is a very fast-moving snow burst, and it passed over us. And then we wanted to make sure everything was safe before buses started rolling again. And now we're back in our routes right now, and hopefully everything will be good to go for the rest of the day.
You know, when you think of obviously school systems, you think of the students, but you've also got teachers and staff members coming from all over, not just Boone County.
Exactly.
Was that part of the decision making? If somebody's coming from, say, Loveland or wherever it may be, it's going to take them forever to get in.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a decision whenever we decide to do a delay or close. And you're correct. We have people that live all over the tri-state, and that is definitely a consideration as well as the safety of the students.
Gives you insight right there of what superintendents have to deal with on days like today.
Yeah, it's a tough decision for all of us to make, and we do communicate with each other, superintendents, to give each other a heads up if it's moving towards another county and things of that nature. So we work really well together.
It's interesting, you know, Boone County and Campbell more often than not tend to kind of do the same things when there's issues like this. But like you mentioned, Eric, this hit Boone County and kind of left some of the other counties alone.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just and obviously they're not closed or delayed today, and it's just one of those things that happened very quickly. And The temperature was just right on the roads, and it just caused a lot of chaos out there.
Glad you're safe. Glad the kids are safe.
Yeah, thank
and we
you.
appreciate the insight this morning right here on Not on Your Side.
You're more than welcome. Thank you.
So that's Eric Carter.
So, yeah, those buses are still out there on the roads, presumably around here in Burlington Pike.
Jacqueline D'Agostino, we toss back over to you. How are things starting to look over there?
So we're finally seeing some cars filter on through. This is 7175, so just to kind of give you guys an update, 7175 southbound right there at Burlington Pike. We're finally starting to see traffic filter through on the southbound side, so some lanes have reopened there southbound, so we are seeing improvements there. Northbound, that's what you're kind of seeing on the right-hand corner there, 7175 northbound. We still have some very heavy traffic and a lot of a delay there on 7175 northbound. That's because we do have a crash just past this that's been out there for about an hour and a half or so, completely shutting down those left-hand lanes. So we're still dealing with heavy traffic all the way back into Florence across Route 42. Just a quick update up in Westchester. We have that crash kind of near Union Center northbound. Was just seeing on Twitter that we had one lane that has reopened there on 75 northbound. So good news there. But a lot of the main problems, if we kind of zoom on in northern Kentucky, are along this portion of 275. So we have a crash 275 right around Dixie that had blocked the highway, and then 275 right around the AA highway as well. So the AA highway 275 still shut down. This is the delay on the eastbound side all the way back. Traffic is pretty much at a standstill back to 471. And then if we check in on 275 right there at around Dixie Highway, it looks like those heavier delays have kind of alleviated a little bit, and they let traffic kind of slide on by there on that right-hand side. If we get out to our drive times, we are seeing improvements. We're still at about an hour and 5 minutes there on 71 southbound, but that's a little bit better than what we just saw a couple minutes ago. It was at about 83 minutes, just maybe the last time we checked in. So we are slowly seeing improvements, but still 71 southbound, that is the longest drive time that we are dealing with. And no wrecks there, Jennifer. It's really just, you know, a lot of people out there taking it slow and just kind of taking their time out there, which is what they should be doing this morning.
Yeah, you know, Jacqueline, I've got neighbors out there on 71, 75 northbound, so back from Richwood, that have been on the interstate now for an hour and a half.
Ugh,
I mean, they are just sitting there. So, and it looks like your drive time said 20 minutes from Florence.
So that's like once you get past it, you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but it's before that drive time kind of kicks in, so it's a little deceiving to see that.
It is. Yeah, the problem is definitely beyond that. Thank you for clarifying. So I was like, wait a minute, I know people sitting there. All right, so let's get over to the radar. I want to show you yet another burst of snow. Now, the way that this cell is positioned, it's kind of far away from two different radars, so we're kind of scanning farther up into the atmosphere here. But you can see up near I-70, coming out of central Indiana, there is another area of snow that is going to dive to the southeast toward Connorsville. Now, this would eventually make its way, you know, through Union County, potentially a little bit of northern Franklin County, but eventually where I'm really more concerned is into Butler County here in about the next hour. That would come into like Oxford, northern portions of the county, back into Middletown again. So this would be new snow, falling first as snow, melting, potentially turning to ice, because we still have that surface temperature that's well below freezing. And then, of course, the original snow squall that came through the city at peak morning drive, here's where it sits now, out in Brown County, especially over 125, 68, also over 62 at this point. So, I mean, you're talking about, I mean, these are your main roads, and to get anywhere right now, you are just staring down this burst of snow, but specifically at this moment from Ripley back through Augusta. That is where some of the heaviest snow is, and also just there north of Georgetown. So I mean, you're going to have a lot of snow-covered roads in that location. I also have a more minor pocket of snow. This one now coming into Dry Ridge. It is passing I-75 at this point. It's not as impactful, but it is still going to head due east. So if you're in Falmouth being like, okay, where's our snow? Y'all, it's coming. Just give us some time. It's just not the snow squall that we ended up seeing here more toward the city, let alone what Boone County has been dealing with. And I live in Boone County, so I've been talking to a lot of neighbors and friends down there, and they said, you know, it was snow first, then you saw it melt, and then you just had a total sheet of ice there for about 45 minutes. And they said that was more treacherous, obviously, than the snow. Snow, you can get a little bit of traction, and then now the sun is starting to work its magic, but it's just been a very slow process. And, you know, whenever you're finding an air temperature of 25 here in the city, 27 in Florence, 30 down in Dry Ridge, this is cold enough to get some of that flash freeze where you immediately get that ice developing after you get a little bit of melting after the snow. So this is why we've had so many issues out there. Then you add in the wind, And while the wind is kind of accelerating this whole process, we've got wind chills in the teens at this point. So it's been an active morning. No active snow falling in the city right now, but we'll continue to keep an eye on some of those other little minor cells. But the biggest one still left out there is out in Brown County, Adams County. You're next. So West Union, Peebles, heads up. You've got some snow heading your way.
All righty, Allie, or Jennifer, we appreciate it. Now let's take some more live pictures coverage of what it's like 71 southbound right now.
So we're going to take a live look at what that's like, the commute. Our assistant news director, Sarah Zach, is on her way in. You know, if you just look at the skies, you're like, that's a beautiful day. And it is right now, but you can see no snow on her roads there now at 8:48, but just a few hours ago, this thing was absolutely bumper to bumper, and it still is right now. You can see she's going, she's stopping, she's going, she's stopping, and it happens. And so this is what you're dealing with really across the tri-state. One look at Jacqueline's maps. They're basically all red and orange, so just keep that in mind.
Depending on where you are, our crews are out there as well. You can get the latest updates, not only right here on air, but also online on our app. We push notifications out. Also, Twitter, at WCPO on Twitter. We're continuously giving you updates from all our reporters who are out and about throughout the tri-state right now.
You know, Dan Carroll is a man of many talents. Gave us some views from the ground a little bit earlier, and we decided to stick him in the chopper now that the weather's good enough for him to get up there.
Dan, first of all, where are you? And then explain the process of why the chopper was going up so late this morning.
Yeah, well, we cannot fly in snow, so that's pretty much the bottom line. And once that snow cleared the area, the 275 area, we were able to get Chopper 9 up this morning and provide you finally some looks from the air as only Chopper 9 can do. So here's traffic southbound on 75. We saw a lot of this from the ground this morning, and the southbound traffic on 75, even though that wreck near 275 is gone, has really not recovered. They have made a lot of progress here in the investigative work. This is where the fatal accident was earlier this morning, and we're getting our first look at one of the vehicles involved in that accident. We saw this from a distance earlier, but for the first time you can really see how heavily damaged that car is involved in this accident where two people lost their lives earlier this morning. Still only the right shoulder just getting by here. This is northbound 75, but take a look at this. This is what happens when you get accidents like this and you get vehicles tied up for a long time. Where'd that go? I saw a big rig down here a little while ago that was getting hooked up to a wrecker because the big rig just couldn't hack it and had to go. So that, you know, those things happen when you get accidents like this. But look at this northbound traffic, and this is all the way back past GE, and we're going to go down this way and see exactly what's going on back here. But I-75, if you can avoid it, I said it earlier this morning, and I'm still saying it now, if you can avoid 75 in your travels today, I would do that by all means. I'm Dan Carroll in Chopper 9.
Just nowhere to go. Dan, we appreciate it. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the very latest on this morning commute.
Next live from the movie Love, Simon, Catherine Langford.
Do you ever feel weird?
And all month long, Kelly and Ryan bring the fun. Well done.
Thank you.
Nice work, Dan.
Live with Kelly and Ryan. Coming up next on 9 on Your Side.
Two rock and roll legends join forces. John Fogerty and ZZ Top. Blues and Bayous Tour. June 14, Riverbend Music Center. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and Riverbend.org. John Fogerty and ZZ Top.
At 4 o'clock now, Cincinnati is a perfect time for me to catch up on the day. It's just such a habit for me to turn that on. It just quickly gives you the key bullet points. What's going on in Cincinnati, what's going on nationally. I would recommend it to any busy working parents.
This is a journey like no other.
Real.
Unexpected. Life-changing.
This is American Idol on America's Network, ABC. The journey begins Sunday.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Last year's ad campaign was a success for ChoiceHotels.com.
Bada book, bada boom.
This year, we're taking it up a notch.
So in this commercial, we see two travelers at a Comfort Inn with a glow around them. So people watching will be like, wow, maybe I'll glow too if I book direct at ChoiceHotels.com.
Who glows? Just say bada book, bada boom.
Nobody glows.
He gets it.
Always the lowest price, guaranteed. Book now at ChoiceHotels.com.
The engine makes power. The transmission sends it to the drive shaft. The drive shaft turns the gears. The gears turn the axles, and the axles turn the wheel. Together, it's the powertrain, and only at Hurlinger Chevrolet, every bit of it has a 100% warranty forever. No parts, no labor, no deductible. You can't buy it. It comes with the car. You'd expect that from Hurlinger Chevrolet.
When your name's on the door, you gotta do more.
Going just a day without your teeth can be painful and embarrassing. Do you need same-day dentures? No problem. Affordable, pain-free solutions for same-day dentures. It's that simple. Urgent dental care. Same-day dentures. Same-day solution.
When the weather changes, your top priorities don't. That's why we warn you first.
Good morning, Tri-State. 8:54, extended coverage of the breaking news we've had all morning long, and that's just been the mess of the morning commute because of that snowstorm that we had blow through. Here's more insight of what it has been like out on the roads.
So Mario Silva is one of our technical directors here, and on his extremely long commute into work, he shot some of this video for us, 275 near Wilder. What he said was he just kept seeing car after car that had just run off the road. Some were accidents, and some just kind of slid around. This is right in the meat of it. You can see the sun is starting to come up there. It took him 45 minutes, hour or so to get in.
Right.
A normal 15 minutes.
It was over an hour.
Over an hour.
Right.
And then here's some more video. And what's interesting is you can really see the difference of the side of the road and the median there and the lanes. Just a significant difference.
Jackknife big rig there, and then you see the ambulance on the scene, so you're concerned for safety of those that are involved in that accident. Boy, it has been a tough go for you guys this morning. Jacqueline D'Agostino, give us the latest updates. Are we seeing any relief out there? The weather conditions are helping.
Yeah, so we're seeing a little bit of an improvement, Chris, but really still, it's mainly in northern Kentucky, but a lot of red. 71 south, 75 south coming from Westchester. That's where Dan Carroll was just showing us things from Chopper 9. And even though we do have a one lane that's open there on 75, it's still very, very heavy traffic as you're coming from Westchester into downtown. But I really want to zoom in on northern Kentucky because that's where we do still have some closures in place, and we are seeing the heaviest traffic out there. So this is actually 275 right near Mineola Pike. That's that video we were just showing you where we have that semi that's off into the median of the roadway there on 275 westbound. It's pretty much stopped traffic there on 275 right near Mineola Pike. So just a heads up, if you're heading towards CVG, you're going to be encountering some major slowdowns there. And this camera view near Taylor Mill, really both sides of 275 there, especially that eastbound side, really slowing down because of a separate accident that we had. There's one over near the AA highway, another one closer to Dixie. So that whole portion of 275 is very slow go. And even though 7175 has reopened, we're still dealing with very, very, very heavy traffic there right around Turfway on 7175 southbound. So if we check in on those drive times for you, they're red all across the board. So, no fun for anyone heading out this morning. And just be sure to check with us on Twitter, Facebook, and on our app. We're going to be continuing to update all of these situations there, Jennifer.
All right, thank you so much, Jacqueline. A poorly placed, isolated snow squall, if it had passed anywhere else, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal, but because it went over those main locations, it has just had a huge impact today. Now it is all the way out into Adams County, so good news there. It will continue to slip off to the southeast. I do want to show you how much of a difference of just an hour makes. So this is from my husband. He was in Union. You can see the snow covered the road there quickly with that burst, and this is the picture just taken about 15 minutes ago. So a little snow still left, but the roads are wet. He said not icy, so it is improving. It's just, it's a slow process here. We will end up with a dry afternoon. Highs, though, today only make it into the mid-30s. We'll see another snow chance coming in Friday night into Saturday morning. That one more focused toward northern Kentucky, but with temperatures making it into the upper 40s on Saturday. That should help to melt a lot of this away.
Let's get to Chopper 9 right now, bringing you breaking news first. Here's Dan Carroll.
Yeah, and I know we had an earlier accident on 75 near Cross County. That is gone now, and I was wondering why all the slow traffic southbound on 75 through the Lockwood split. Well, here we are at Paddock, and there's a broken down school bus. So as people approach that, they are hitting the brakes and slowing things down. Once you get south of this, though, 75 doesn't look too bad as you head on down towards I-74. I'm Dan Carroll in Chopper 9.
Allie Kramer, one final update.
Hey, 275 eastbound, we are sitting in dead stop traffic westbound side right there at Dixie Highway. It is shut down. You're forced off at Dixie Highway. Jacqueline's been telling you about that one. We passed 2 separate crashes causing that closure. 9 cars involved. Nobody appears to be seriously injured. We do not see ambulances on the scene. Fire trucks helping block those lanes. It's going to be a while. A couple of those cars were turned around the opposite direction. Just kind of getting it all sorted out at this point. Eastbound side, who knows what's causing this, but we've moved maybe 10 feet in the past 10 minutes. So stopped on the eastbound side just after Turkey Foot Road. Guys?
Allie, thank you. Well, as our coverage here comes to an end, our coverage online just really continues. So be sure to check our Twitter and our app for the very latest of this the snow and the traffic.
Good morning, Tri-State.